Attention, this briefing contains declassified information. We're looking at a psychological operating system, designated the living clock protocol. It's crucial that you disregard all prior conditioning.
Now this statement, it's not some quaint philosophy. You should read it as a diagnostic command. It's specifically designed to initiate a system shock, to expose a core vulnerability inside your current psychological framework.
Here's the problem. Your operational model has been infected. It's developed a dependency on external inputs, things like horoscopes, news cycles, social media validation. And this reliance, well, it introduces critical flaws, rendering your entire system unstable and wildly inefficient.
So let me just pose a query. If all these external systems are the ones dictating your internal state, then who's the operator? Who's actually in control? This condition has a designation, the house without an owner. Essentially, the command authority is absent.
All right, let's proceed with the analysis. Section 1, a flawed construct. Right now, we are going to diagnose the fundamental error in the standard human operational model. The primary error is a state we've designated atmospheric scavenging. You see, it's a condition where your internal state is nothing more than a reaction to external data. Your mood becomes a function of your inbox. Your energy becomes a function of the news feed. Frankly, it's a primitive and incredibly wasteful algorithm.
Okay, now we access Section 2, the control interface. We are declassifying the true control panel for the human biomachine. And the reason it's been overlooked for so long is because of its organic simplicity.
Take a look at the schematic. You see, the breath is not some passive autonomic function. No, it is a direct, hardwired interface for state control. Your nostrils are not symmetrical inputs. They are distinct bioelectric nodes. We designate them EDAT and Pingala. These are ancient terms, sure, but they describe the two primary energy channels that regulate the body's entire operating system.
Now, these nodes run two primary operational protocols. On one hand, you have Pingala, the solar protocol. This initiates left brain dominance and kicks on the sympathetic or heating system. You deploy this for conflict, for logic, for execution. On the other hand, you have Ida, the lunar protocol. This initiates right brain dominance and the parasympathetic or cooling system. This is what you deploy for planning, for recovery, for data ingress. You have to understand, using the wrong protocol for the mission, say deploying the heating protocol when you should be in a recovery phase, it just results in systemic stress, cognitive degradation, and a total depletion of resources.
So that brings us to Section 3, the manual override. What follows is a tactical protocol for seizing manual control of the autonomic nervous system. You can think of this as a system exploit.
The protocol is called mechanical switching, and this is the command sequence. Step 1, identify your target state. Do you need solar for action or lunar for recovery? Step 2, select the opposite axillary node. Now why the opposite side? Because the nerve pathways cross. Pressure on the left side activates the right nostril solar protocol and vice versa. Step 3, apply firm, consistent pressure. What you're doing is sending a counterfeit signal directly to the brain's load balancing software. And finally, Step 4, await system reboot. This takes about 3 to 5 minutes. During that time, the autonomic system completely reroutes airflow, initiating a full state change.
And this visual, it really demonstrates the protocol's effectiveness. So, before, the system is in a state of what we call lunar imbalance. The symptoms are lethargy, emotional volatility, a totally inefficient state for high-stakes execution. But then, after initiating the override, the system reboots into solar dominance. And the results? Mental clarity, decisiveness. The correct operational state has been achieved.
Now we're engaging Section 4, the upgraded operator. You need to understand, implementing this protocol results in a fundamentally new human architecture. So let's review the specifications of this upgraded construct. The initial state is the atmospheric scavenger. In this state, the operator is basically a puppet. Their state is dictated by the chaotic whims of whatever data is coming in.
But the upgraded state? That's the sovereign operator. This operator generates their state internally, completely independent of external conditions. They become the source of their own signal.
The initial state is also what we call a victim of timing. The operator is just reactive, perpetually waiting for external circumstances to align before they can even think about taking action.
The upgraded state is the architect of time. This operator no longer waits for the right conditions. They are the condition. They literally architect the timeline to meet the mission's demands.
So, the new construct specifications are as follows. A fully internalized locus of control.
complete bioelectric grid integrity, total system sovereignty, and, maybe most crucially, immunity to external arbitrary rhythms.
Which brings us to our final point. Section 5. Acquire the field manual. This concludes the introductory briefing. Your next directive should be clear.
You need to acquire the complete system manual. Let me be clear, this is not a suggestion. The full protocol is available on Amazon, Google Play, and Apple Books.
This briefing is now over. We are awaiting your deployment. So the only question that remains is this. Will you execute the protocol, or will you choose to remain a casualty of the atmosphere?